So I read about something known as a 1 mad minute. तो this is my latest thing that I'm experimenting on काविश. तो जब उसे बहुत गुस्सा आता है, जैसे नीचे बच्चों के साथ खेलने जाता है तो गुस्सा करता है, कोई बच्चा झूठ बोल रहा है या किसी ने कोई चीज़ ले ली, तो ये बड़ा अपना चिल्लाते हुए अपनी बुलंद आवाज़ में. तो मैं कहती थी काविश, how about for that moment you just tell yourself that it's okay Kavish, calm down, I'll talk to mama about it and then we'll take 1 mad minute. So then in that 1 mad minute I will tell Kavish, okay, now you want to shout, you want to be upset, maybe you can punch a pillow and we can do all those crazy things. You get to be crazy in this 1 minute, right? Because इस वक्त मुझे वही समझ में आया. I read up a lot but then I pick up only the points that I feel, okay, this is tailor-made for me.
हेलो दोस्तों, मैं डॉक्टर योगेंद्र सिंह राठौर और आप लोगों के लिए लाया हूँ इनर वेलनेस ट्राइब का अगला एपिसोड. आज हमारे बीच में बहुत ही इंस्पायरिंग पर्सनालिटी हैं. ये एक एक्टर हैं, ये एक एंटरप्रेन्योर हैं, ये यूट्यूबर भी हैं जिन्होंने 4 ही महीनों में 100K क्रॉस किया है. बहुत ही कैंडिड वीडियोस हैं, इंस्पायर करती हैं लोगों को. मिलियंस ऑफ लोग इनके वीडियोस के जरिए सोशल मीडिया पे आज इंस्पिरेशन ले रहे हैं. प्लीज वेलकम निशा रावल जी ऑन आवर शो.
Thank you.
So how your journey started? Let's start from the beginning, that how that seed of acting started in you and then how it transitioned into being a blogger.
I think ये हर एक्टर या हर इंसान की कहानी होगी. ऐसे कोई बहुत बड़ा स्टोरी नहीं है इसके पीछे. मुझे सिर्फ एक मोमेंट याद है जब एक थप्पड़ पड़ा था मम्मी से मुझे जी और मैं मिरर में देख के बोलती थी, मम्मा मैं तो हीरोइन बनूंगी. उस टाइम पे तो ये एक्टर एक्ट्रेस और ये सारी चीजें आर्टिस्ट ये सब चीजें नहीं पता थी. हीरो और हीरोइन और फिल्म इंडस्ट्री अगर आप बोल दो किसी को तो मतलब सबकी आंखें ऐसे फट जाती थी कि व्हाट फिल्म इंडस्ट्री, इट वाज जस्ट सो कंट्रोवर्शियल. एंड तो मम्मी ने खींच के मारा था मुझे, क्या हीरोइन बनूंगी हीरोइन. एंड आई वाज रियली लाइक इन स्कूल and this was that moment when just like any other girl you spend hours in front of the mirror and you watch yourself grow and you think that okay, I am the next star, the next diva, right? I think it all started from there. But uske baad when I was in college, I was in national college और वहाँ पर exposure था. People would come and there were experts that would come to kind of give their expertise about life and talk about life. तो वहाँ पर I think there were a lot of seniors who encouraged me. They're like, Nisha, you got such a cute face. Why don't you do something about it? And then one of my friend's uncles, he was a photographer and a professional photographer जो बहुत सारे professionals के लिए, professional actors के लिए, models के लिए, upcoming actors के लिए portfolio किया करते थे. आजकल तो अब ये शब्द भी बहुत कम सुनाई देता है portfolio. I'm talking at least about 20 years ago.
20 years.
20 से भी ज़्यादा. And then I got my portfolio done. और उस टाइम पर ना हम ऐसे छोटे फोटोज़ प्रिंट करते थे प्रॉपर जैसे स्टूडियो में प्रिंट कर. अब तो सब डिजिटल हो गया, उस समय डिजिटल नाम की कोई चीज़ नहीं थी. मोबाइल फ़ोन्स तब आए ही थे बिल्कुल. तो वो फ़ोटोज़ प्रिंट होती थी बहुत सारी. मतलब ऐसा होता था दैट यू हायर अ स्टूडियो, then you go and you decide कि आपको क्या क्या changes करने हैं. So about 6 to 7 changes जिसमें सब कुछ होगा. एक basic makeup होगा, एक party makeup होगा और you're dressed up in a sari and then you're dressed up in a dress and all those kind of things just to kind of establish that diversity in your looks. And you come, you do your portfolio and then उसके बाद कुछ ही casting directors होते थे, coordinators होते थे. तब उनको coordinators बोला जाता था. आजकल उसमें भी लोगों को प्रॉब्लम है. like, I'm not a coordinator, I'm a casting director. So I'm just talking about how the world has changed. And then distribute pictures. Pictures के पीछे होते थे stickers जिसमें लिखा होता था निशा रावल, age this much, mobile number this much, so that when people can call you for auditions. Auditions हुआ करते थे. So अगर एक ad है उसके audition के लिए at least hundreds of people would turn up. फिर एक script होती थी, आप audition देते थे और फिर आपको call आता था whether you're shortlisted or not or you're. So मेरा ऐसा था that I think 90% of the times the auditions that I went to, I got selected. So it was just like that. At some point ऐसा होने लगा था that when I would enter a studio for the audition, half of the girls would walk out. And they're like, no, what's the point now? Nisha has come, so she's going to give the audition. And I would feel good and bad both about it because sure, I'm also like learning and it's just nice, it boosts your confidence. But then sad that, you know, I don't want to take bad energy from anybody, or I want everybody to do well. And I was one of those people who would never pray कि भगवान ये audition ये मुझे मिल जाए. I would always be like, may the most deserving person get it, जिसे इसकी ज़्यादा ज़रूरत है. So I think that attitude has brought me up until here, I feel. And I still feel the same today.
So beautiful. So यहाँ से एक point आता है gratitude. So do you practice gratitude, and how do you see it has impacted you in your life?
Gratitude word एक trend सा बन गया अब. ऐसे बहुत सारे words अब trend से बन गए हैं जिन्हें हम use करते हैं. And when I actually started reading about gratitude, because आजकल ही इन चीज़ों के बारे में बातें हो रही है, I realized that I was always doing all these things since I was a kid. That's what you just pointed out, right? कि आप तो बचपन में ही ये कर रहे थे, or whenever you just started. I would always say thanks to God for everything. So this was why I wake up in the morning and I'm like, I am giving my day to you, God. Spend it the way you would want to spend it. You know, and I would always like surprise me, you know. And बचपन से मम्मी ने ये बात सिखाई थी कि, you know, जब हम दुखी होते हैं तो अपने आप से ज़्यादा दुखी लोगों को देखना चाहिए. जब हम खुश होते हैं तो उसे हजम करने की हमारे अंदर ताकत होनी चाहिए, क्योंकि खुशी में इंसान अपना आपा खो बैठता है कभी कभी. यू नो, आप फिसल जाते हो, आप गलत रास्ते में चल जाते हो, बिकॉज आपको लगता है कि आपको सब कुछ मिल रहा है, एवरीथिंग इज वर्किंग इन योर फेवर. what else is going to give you that dopamine surge? That is also a term that's come now, but these things have existed since eternity, you know. And I've always had gratitude, and I've always said thanks to God, and believing in God has come very naturally to me because I was born in a house that believed in Him. Yes, when I grew up, I did my own, I had my own journey where I went in search for Him in my own little way. And I read somewhere that they said कि अगर आपकी पूरी जिंदगी भी अपने गुरु को ढूंढने में निकल जाए, so that's not time wasted. That's time well spent. So I feel that I found that. And so yes, I do have a lot of inner peace in that sense. I do have a lot of gratitude.
So कभी अगर इस जर्नी में सेटबैक्स भी आए होंगे, कई बार ऐसा भी हुआ होगा कि रिजेक्शंस भी मिले होंगे. So how do you handle rejections or setbacks in your life? वो आप कैसे हैंडल करते हो?
अभी मेरी लाइफ और मेरी कहानी अभी भी जारी है. बहुत सारी सेटबैक्स, चैलेंजेस, डाउन्स आई एम स्टिल एक्सपीरियंसिंग, and therefore I don't think I'll be able to sum it up because I am in the process of doing that. But I'm observing every single thing that's happening, and I think that I've been gifted that I at least have that sanity in me that I'm able to observe it.
Right.
बहुत सारे setbacks आए. मेरा बचपन भी बहुत अच्छा नहीं था. My mom has brought me up single-handedly, and every single thing that I have experienced as a child, as a teenager, then during my modeling career, बहुत सारी चीज़ें came to me on a platter. Like I told you, when I walked into an audition, it just happened to me. But to be able to reach that stage even, ऐसा नहीं है कि rejections नहीं थे. It's not like somebody just literally, I wasn't born with a silver spoon,
Right.
But it just happened. One after the other, it happened. And I just took it positively. आज, when I look back, I tell myself that हमारे ऊपर बहुत प्रेशर डाला जाता है to be positive, to be like, it's okay, be positive. But ये positivity भी इतनी toxic हो जाती है at some point, where you feel, आपको बोला जाता है मत रो, be strong. Like this is when I lost my child, right? Like before Kavish was born. I was pregnant and I lost my child, unborn child, at 5 months due to an anomaly, some chromosomal disorder.
5 months?
Yes, 5 months, which
even,
is quite late.
I'm just cutting you,
Gee,
but
please.
Even I had a twin when we first time we conceived, but just 2 months, I think, we also went through the same thing. Then we got to know that they were twins, right? So it's very
Yes.
disheartening in
Yes.
those moments, yes.
And you can't describe it in enough words. And the worst is, जब आपको वो blow मिलता है न्यूज़ का ना, तो आपको लगता है that this is a blow, but it's not. That blow comes like a toxic drip over the years. That's what happened with me.
Right.
I did not find any support group. I did not find support among any humans that I knew of,
Right.
And anyway, that's a story for another time. But then I learned. 7 years after I lost the baby, a few years ago, I formed a support group for women called Goodbye Angel. और उस टाइम पे कोविड था तो मिल नहीं सकते थे, तो उसकी फर्स्ट मीट अभी हुई थी 1-2 महीने पहले मेरे ऑफिस में.
Okay.
So, you know, a few women, handful of women came in and they were talking about what happened. It's just a group to kind of vent out. I'm not a medical practitioner or an expert in that space, but you can consider me a buddy, right?
Right.
It's more like buddies just sharing their experiences like we do when we meet our friend and we put our head down and we cry on their shoulders. It's just that. You need that safe space, like they say.
So true.
Another cool word that's been floating around. But, you know, you need that place where you feel that it's a judgment-free area and you will not be, you can get advice. You can probably just stay quiet. Maybe you don't want to say anything. Maybe you just want to hear everybody else speak. So there is no pressure.
Right.
Just come and we're here to take a moment to, you know, remember our loved one that we lost. So I feel that ऐसे बहुत सारी चीज़ें मेरी लाइफ में हुई हैं और मैं इन्हें नोटिस करती हूँ, मैंने ऑब्जर्व करती हूँ और फिर मैं रियलाइज़ करती हूँ कि ये शायद एक रीज़न की वजह से मेरे साथ हो रही है. बिकॉज मे बी God has given me that strength to be able to observe, process and then channelize it into an action of doing something for someone. You know, और ये कहते कहते भी मुझे रियलाइज़ होता है दैट ये भी एक बहुत बड़ा हैवी वेट है आपके शोल्डर्स पर जब लोग आपको एक पेडेस्टल पर डाल देते हैं. और लुक, शी इज सो इंस्पायरिंग, शी इज सो पॉजिटिव, शी इज गोइंग थ्रू सो मच, हर लेग इज ब्रोकन, शी इज सिंगल पेरेंटिंग, बट लुक एट हर, दैट itself is a pressure.
Right.
But I tell everybody, that's what happens in my vlogs, that it's okay to let go, it's okay to let down, it's okay to cry, it's okay to, you know, you don't really have to, you're not a prototype of each other, you're humans. And every individual is unique and you're writing your own story. So you don't have to match up to anybody's expectations of you. You don't have to match up or fit into the norm that society has created for you. You're not a computer, you're a human being, you're writing your story. So I just feel that setbacks, highs, ups, downs, learnings,
That's just part of life.
it's part of life and we just need to make a beautiful recipe out of the ingredients we have.
तो अभी आपने सिंगल पेरेंटिंग की बात की, तो क्या चैलेंजेस आप देखते हैं एज अ सिंगल पेरेंट, और बहुत सारे लोग आज सिंगल पेरेंटिंग में हैं, सो हाउ दे कैन टैकल देयर चैलेंजेस?
It is overwhelming. It is definitely a challenge. You have a breakdown almost every hour. And it's basically just managing too many things together, right? Whether it's physically, emotionally, mentally, financially, because you're not only healing, क्योंकि आपको भी एक अपनी सिंगल डम का भी एक अपने दिल में उसे compartmentalize कर लिया that okay, I'll deal with that later, let me deal with this little one first, you know. So that being there for the child's PTM, making sure the child is up to date in his academics, or you know, taking care of his mental health, his emotional health, being there just to cuddle the child, just taking him out on weekends, just listening to stories, just lying in bed doing nothing, right? You have to be there and then you have to go out because you have to bring the money to run
Right.
the house, right? So I do believe in the fact, a lot of people might think, okay, because she's a woman, she's saying that. But I do believe in the fact that, you know, a man was made to provide and protect, and a woman was made to nurture and love, right?
Yeah, basic design is like
Basic design is like that. At least हम ये देखते हुए आए हैं. अब मैं शायद कुछ और देखा होता तो मैं कुछ और बोलती, पर मैंने तो अपनी जिंदगी में यही देखा है.
that. जी.
तो मेरा एक मिशन था लाइफ का कि नहीं, मेरे बच्चे को डेफिनेटली मैं सिंगल पेरेंट की तरह नहीं बड़ा करूंगी. अब
जी.
अनफॉर्चुनेटली अब वो हो चुका है.
Right.
एंड आई थिंक आई हैव जस्ट बीन ब्लेस्ड दैट जब मेरे ऊपर कोई आपत्ति आती है तो आई हैव दिस weird energy that I don't know where it comes from. It's like, okay, what's next? ठीक है, ये आगे अब क्या करना है? You know, get up and just go. So people ask me, how do you do it? I'm like, you just do it. You just do it. You tell yourself you don't have an option, right?
Right.
And even in the gravest of the situations, I have put my makeup and my lipstick on and straightened my hair, worn my heels and just stormed out of that door. You know, I think that that is something I owe myself. For me, self-worth is the highest worth that I give myself. So I consider myself very important because I am the most important person for myself. You know, so yes, it's tough, but we take inspiration from each other and we see other single parents around us. We read up good articles, we follow good people, we read good books, and we just move on.
सो आई थिंक जो एक आपने बहुत अच्छी बात की कि आप बहुत बोलते बोलते चले गए, बस बात थोड़ी सी गहरी है वो, दैट एक्सेप्टेंस. व्हाट आई एम सीइंग दैट whenever challenges are coming in your life, you are in a position to accept it instead of denying it. Many people suffer because they reject their reality. वो अपनी reality को reject करना चाहते हैं, उससे denial में रहते हैं. But what you are doing is you are totally including it, you are accepting it, because जब तक हम accept नहीं करते तब तक ये सवाल नहीं आ सकता what is next. What is next can only come if you accept it. So what you are doing is, this is called acceptance, that you are totally accepting your reality, whether it is positive, negative, good, bad, whatever it is there in this moment. क्योंकि उस मोमेंट में हम कॉम्प्रीहेंड नहीं कर पाते कई बार कि ये अच्छा है कि बुरा है. कई बार जब थोड़ा आगे चले जाते हैं तभी पता लगता है कि ये चीज़ अच्छी थी, किस तरीके से मुझे शेप करने के लिए ज़रूरी थी. सो यू आर एक्सेप्टिंग इट, दैट्स वाई यू आर एबल टू लेट गो and move on quickly. So one more question arises, that sometimes it is overwhelming that you have to manage so many things. So if you feel stressed out or if you feel burnout and exhausted, how do you tackle that? Are you following any practices, any exercise routine to deal with this?
I do have a mental health condition. I'm bipolar, and I very openly speak about it. I have been stigmatized for it, and I've been shamed for it in public, in the media. And it's very sad that it was done, but it was good that it happened. See, it's become so conversational. Like, look how much I've normalized it. It's like the more people throw it on me, the more I understand my own strength, that I had this strength to fight back. And look now, anybody can come up to me and say, hey Nisha, I'm bipolar too.
Oh, so good.
Right, so I am bipolar. It's a mood disorder. It does not mean I'm crazy. It does not mean I'm crazy, but it's a feeling of pride that, yeah, I got to say it in a moment where nobody else was saying it so openly. I spoke about it the first time in my talk show, The Motherhood Chronicles, and I had called my doctor, Dr. Kersi Chavda, and I told him, today, in front of the world, I'm going to say that I'm bipolar. And you will explain to everybody what it is. Because I thought, he's a doctor, he will be able to explain it better. I can only share my experience. But I feel that that disorder gives me so much to deal with. It does get overwhelming, a little bit more for me maybe than a normal person, because I have this disorder. And therefore, I have understood that I need to develop my own coping mechanism, which is I listen to a lot of, I've subscribed to this app called Calm. So it's got nature sounds. Now I'm going to actually technically tell you what I do. So nature sounds help me calm down. Listening to music actually overwhelms me more. Like I can only listen to single instruments, like a keyboard. There are very rare moments when I'll be able to listen to a full-blown song. I like only unplugged music because I don't like so many instruments. So I've understood that being organized, being planned, coming to the shoot before time or a meeting before time, these things help me. Those are my coping mechanism. You know, it's not that I don't forget. I am very forgetful, but I have many lists. You know, I have a list for medicines, and I have a list for car wishes things. I have a list of things to do that can't be done in a day. You know, so I just organize. I found my coping mechanism and I'm finding them as we speak. But sticking to that is a commitment that I've done to myself because I want to stay sane.
जाने अनजाने में आपने आई थिंक ये बात करके काफ़ी लोगों को एक नॉर्मलाइज किया है, क्योंकि भारत देश में बहुत सारे मेंटल इश्यूज़ हैं. पिछले कुछ समय में तो बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ चुके हैं कोरोना के बाद तो. एंड इतना स्टिग्मा है कि लोग इस चीज़ को, कई लोग मानते हैं ये सब कुछ नहीं होता, ठीक है, ये नहीं होता, वो नहीं होता. कोई अगर बताने से भी डरता है अपने मेंटल इश्यूज़ को, जब तक वो बिल्कुल पीक पे ना पहुंच जाए तब तक हम छुपाते रहते हैं. इसीलिए कई बार घर वाले हैरान होते हैं जब उन्हीं के घर में से कोई सुसाइड अटेम्प्ट कर लेता है. मैं जान के हैरान रह जाता हूँ कि घर वालों को कैसे पता नहीं चलता, क्योंकि वो सिग्नल दे रहा होता है लेकिन वो इतना डरावा होता है बताने से कि उसे मेंटल समझा जाएगा, पागल समझा जाएगा, क्रेजी समझा जाएगा, जिसकी वजह से वो पूरा छुपाने की, सप्रेस करने की कोशिश करता है. और आई थिंक आप जैसे इन्फ्लुएंशियल फिगर जब इसको बिल्कुल नॉर्मलाइज करेंगे तो आई थिंक और बहुत सारे लोगों को इंस्पिरेशन मिलेगी कि इसके बारे में बात करने से, या ये कोई ऐसा नहीं है कि जैसे आपके शरीर में चोट लग सकती है वैसे ही ब्रेन पे भी कुछ चोट हो सकती है, कुछ इश्यू हो सकता है. इनसे डील किया जा सकता है, इनमें बात की जा सकती है. उसमें किसी को क्रेजी समझना या उसको स्टिग्मेटाइज करना ये कोई सही बात नहीं है. सो इट्स रियली गुड दैट यू पुट इट फॉरवर्ड.
थैंक यू. आई ऑल्सो वांटेड टू ऐड समथिंग. हमारी सोसाइटी में स्टिग्मेटाइजेशन स्टार्ट होता है हमारे घर से.
यस.
योर मदर शेम्स यू फॉर इट, your brother, your family shames you. पागल है क्या? पागलों के डॉक्टर के पास जाएगी? नहीं, तू तो कुछ ज्यादा ही सोचती है, इतना मत सोचा कर. ये जो सेंटेंसेस हमें सुन सुन के इतनी आदत हो गई है ना कि हर चीज को हम बिल्कुल ही फॉर ग्रांटेड लेने लगते हैं, अपनी मेंटल हेल्थ को भी इतना ज्यादा कि वो हम इंटरनलाइज करने लगते हैं, पर वो चली नहीं जाती चीज. दैट डजंट सीज टू एग्जिस्ट. सो द मोर वी आर माइंडफुल अबाउट व्हाट्स हैपनिंग इन आवर माइंड, इन आवर बॉडी, इसमें कोई हार्म नहीं है. इफ यू वांट टू गो टू अ डॉक्टर, वांट टू गो टू अ थेरेपिस्ट एंड रूल समथिंग आउट, then do it. And why do you want to go with an attitude of I want to rule it out? Why are you so scared? There is a treatment for everything. We belong to today's century. You know, we're talking about it. So I'm saying just address it and get up and go. If nobody agrees with you in your family, you're an adult, you can fend for yourself, you can dial up the number of the doctor, ask from your friends or look it up on Google.
So true.
And just go.
So आपने मेटा मोम्स करके कम्युनिटी बिल्ड की है, इनिशिएटिव लिया है, और आप एक मदरहुड की जर्नी से भी गुजर रही हैं. तो क्या है ये मेटा मोम क्या है?
Seeing the world from a mother's point of view is an absolutely special point of view. And I'm so blessed and I have so much gratitude that God has given me this experience. And thanks to my child, watching a little human grow, whether it's through scans or in front of you, those little hands become big, you become stronger, they start to walk. There is so much that you get to experience and witness as a mother, I feel, even as a parent.
Even that first heartbeat that we listen.
Yes, it's so special.
It is always in my mind. The first time I heard that heartbeat of my son,
yes,
it is such an
and
amazing
how it
experience.
Just connects you, right? You still remember that sound. You still remember that hustly sound, you know, and it does bring tears to your eyes. So I feel meta is above and beyond. And I feel that's what a mother is made of. She's above and beyond. And that's why the whole thought of meta moms. But when we say that, again, a mother, if she gets more done, she's a good mother. You know, but if she leaves her child with a caregiver and goes out for drinks with a friend, then she's a bad mother. But that time out for a mother can do her so much good. You know, it can offload her, it can unburden her, and she can come back stronger, refreshed, recharged, right? So I just want to celebrate the ordinary women, the ordinary mom who's uncelebrated. She is our unsung hero. I want to provide a platform where she can paint on that empty canvas, you know. And when we empower a mother by providing her with those brushes, those colors, that canvas, I'm sure the world is going to see colors that they've never seen. And that's what I want to do. I want to celebrate mothers. I want to provide a platform for mothers, do work for them, and I'm very excited about this journey.
So do you believe in manifestation? So how it works in your life?
I think अभी मेरी थोड़ी सी नाराजगी चल रही है भगवान जी से. चल रही है. मैंने उनको बोला है, now you will give me a sign. क्योंकि होता ऐसा है that emotionally you're dealing with it, mentally you're dealing with it, you know, legally you're dealing with it. अब emotionally, mentally तो आपने सुना होता है, but legally हर किसी की लाइफ में नहीं होता. फिर physically, जहाँ पर आप अपने हाथ पैर तो मार सकते थे, अगर आपके साथ कुछ गलत हो रहा है, you will work harder, you will go, you will do stuff, right? अब आपके पैर ही टूट गया, जो मेरा हुआ around 4-5 months ago, and you're like, you can see life passing by, and like, dude, ये पे करना है, वो पे करना है, ये करना था, अरे वो उसमें जाना था, but मैं करूँ तो कैसे करूँ? You can't move, you're so dependent, you need a nurse right now with you. So that was a life-changing moment for me. I'm still going through it because it's very fresh in my head. It's difficult because जैसा कि मैंने बोला, पॉजिटिविटी एक चीज़ होती है, एक टॉक्सिक पॉजिटिविटी होती है. वो मैंने थोड़ा लेट रियलाइज़ किया. मुझे लग रहा था कि मैं शायद वो बॉर्डरलाइन टॉक्सिक पॉजिटिविटी पे आ गई हूँ, जहाँ मुझे जो कंडीशन किया गया ना, बेटा यू आर स्ट्रॉन्ग, यू हैव टू डू इट, बट क्यों मैं नहीं हूँ स्ट्रॉन्ग? मुझे नहीं चाहिए ये टाइटल स्ट्रॉन्ग का. मैं ये स्ट्रॉन्ग के टाइटल के लिए नहीं कर रही हूँ. दिस इज बिकॉज आई एम मेड लाइक दैट,
राइट?
यू नो, एंड आई जस्ट फील दैट इट्स okay to lock your door and to cry and to say that नहीं, आज मेरा खाना खाने का मन नहीं, आज मैं रोना चाह रही हूँ. But honestly, I could not afford to do that. I know it's okay to do it, but I could not because I didn't have the time. Even in the middle of all these adversities, I knew that I have to get up and get my child ready for school, and you know, I have to go about it because there is not even a single day or a moment that I could waste. I'm working till 3-4 a.m. and I wake up at 7-8 a.m. and I know that it's gonna hamper my brain, especially because I have that condition and I need to sleep give myself that sleep because my mood kind of just changes with that, but I can't. So right now I'm going through that phase of life and I know it's a phase. इतनी ही पॉजिटिव मैं इस मोमेंट में हो सकती हूँ कि अपने आप को बोलूँ कि एक फेज है, ये चला जाएगा.
Yes,
You know,
treat
sir,
it like a season, like
that's
just
it.
a season, because problems दो तरीके से हमारे जीवन में आती हैं. एक प्रॉब्लम तो वो जो हमारे ही पैटर्न से बार बार क्रिएट होती हैं, कि हम ही कोई ऐसा पैटर्न कर रहे हैं जिससे कि वो प्रॉब्लम बार बार हम लेते हैं. दूसरी प्रॉब्लम्स वो होती हैं जो हमारे कंट्रोल में नहीं होती हैं, जैसे कोई अर्थक्वेक आ जाना या नेचुरल क्लैमिटी आ जाना. तो बहुत सी ऐसी भी प्रॉब्लम्स हमारी लाइफ में आती हैं. प्रॉब्लम्स कई बार वो क्लाउड बस्टिंग की तरह होती हैं, कि रेनफॉल की तरह नहीं होती, कि एक साथ जब बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम्स आ जाती हैं, दैट इज़ द पॉइंट वेयर कई बार हमारी जो फेथ है वो थोड़ी शेकन अप होने लगती है. तो एक बार मेरे को एक स्टोरी याद आ रही है, तो मैं आपके साथ शेयर कर देता हूँ यहाँ पे. तो एक बार स्वामी विवेकानंद अपनी डिसाइपल थी भगिनी निवेदिता, उसके साथ में सेलिंग करते हुए जा रहे थे. तो वहीं रास्ते में बहुत तूफ़ान चल गया, बहुत ज़्यादा तूफ़ान आ गया और पूरी बोट हिलने लगी और ऐसा स्थिति बन गई कि अब तो जीवित रहना मुश्किल है. तो बोट पे और भी कुछ लोग थे, सब में अफरा तफरी मच गई और सब लोग बिल्कुल पैनिक में आ गए. भगिनी निवेदिता भी बिल्कुल पैनिक में, मगर स्वामी जी वहाँ पोल के पास में बिल्कुल हाथ लगा के बिल्कुल शांति से खड़े हुए हैं, जो सब कुछ हो रहा है बस उसे देख रहे हैं. तो ये देख करके बाकी सब और ट्रोमेटिक हो रहे थे कि ये क्या आदमी है, इसको कुछ हो क्यों नहीं रहा है. तो वो भगिनी जाती है स्वामी जी से, कहती है कि आर यू इन शॉक और वॉट, मतलब हम मरने वाले हैं अभी, आपके चेहरे पे कुछ दिखता क्यों नहीं है. तो स्वामी जी का एक अपना स्टाइल होता था सिखाने का, तो वो बाजू से एक चाकू पड़ा था, तो चाकू लिया उन्होंने, गले पे रख दिया भगिनी निवेदिता के, और गले पे रख करके कहा कि बोट हिल रही है, हवा चल रही है, मेरा हाथ कभी भी ऊपर नीचे हो सकता है, एंड इट विल कट योर थ्रोट, यू विल डाई, आर यू अफ्रेड ऑफ दिस. तो निवेदिता कहती है कि नहीं, मुझे इस चाकू का कोई डर नहीं है. बोले क्यों नहीं है. तो कहती है कि जब तक ये मेरे गुरु के हाथ में है तब तक मुझे पता है कि इससे मेरा कुछ ख़राब नहीं हो सकता. तो स्वामी जी कहते हैं कि एग्जैक्टली इसी तरीके से मेरी भी वहाँ पे फेथ है कि जब तक मेरे जीवन की डोर उसके हाथ में है, जो बेस्ट हो सकता है वो मेरे लिए होगा.
Wow, so beautiful.
So that faith many times, if difficulties multi जगहों से जब आती है, तो sometimes the faith can be shaken, but I think that is our exam point, right, where universe want to give us something big, but before giving you something big they test you.
True.
कई बार ना ऊपर की डायरी में एक साइड पे लिखा होता है इसने ये किया इसको ये दिया, इसने ये किया इसको ये दिया, बट मैनी टाइम्स ऐसे होता है कि वो पहले करने वाला पन्ना भरवाने लग जाता है, देने वाला रोकता है, फिर एकदम से फिर देने वाला भी चालू करता है. सो दिस मे बी दीज फेजेस आर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर समथिंग बिग that is going to come in your life.
Yes,
right?
yes, maybe.
So at least we can have that faith inside us, and I think this is a good beginning that you're considering it as a phase. This is just a phase, not endless. Maybe you're going through all these things. Maybe in future you're going to inspire millions of those people who are going through it, because once you heal yourself, you can help others to heal as well.
True, that's
right?
true.
और एक अच्छा पॉइंट आपने बीच में बताया था कि आप बच्चे को अपने इमोशनल इंट्रोडक्शन दे रही हैं. व्हाट इज़ दैट, थोड़ा उसके ऊपर आप मुझे बताएं. तो
मैं हमेशा ह्यूमन इमोशंस को बहुत ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट समझती हूँ. दो ह्यूमन बीइंग्स के बीच में जो रिश्ता होता है उसमें आई थिंक इमोशंस बहुत की रोल प्ले करते हैं, और हमें एक दूसरे के इमोशंस से एक मैसेज लेकर it shows how much I care about you, right? If you have your certain emotions that you express in a certain situation, then how I respond to help you with those emotions show that how much I love you. And I think this whole world should, इसका basis ही love है, right? Fundamental ही love है. And इतना ज़्यादा love है कि उस love को पाने के लिए हम hatred का भी इस्तेमाल करते हैं, which is just so different, right? Whether it's religions or any of those things. We all show love towards our country and our beliefs, and then we fight and we show hatred because we want.
Yeah, from the love, hatred is emerging.
Correct. So I feel that once you introduce your child, because एक बच्चा एक clean slate की तरह होता है.
जी.
Emotion से जब आप उसे introduce कर देते हो, तो आप उसे empower कर देते हो to be able to express. And when a human being starts expressing, big things happen.
Right.
Like you. right? You're expressing, you're connecting people, you're talking about NLP, you're talking about so many unspoken things, you're providing a platform. That's because you have unleashed that potential in you. You've understood it. And so you're empowered today and you're on your journey to empower people. So when you empower your child with emotions, with understanding emotions, then the stages of regulating emotions, channelizing them, using them, in the right way, whether it's to heal yourself or to heal others, comes across. So I feel कि जब काविश छोटू था, मैं आपको पहले बोल रही थी, 1-1.5 साल का था, तो मैंने उसे ना ड्रॉ, हम बहुत रीडिंग करते हैं काविश और मैं, आई फील दैट वी बॉन्ड अ लॉट ओवर रीडिंग, राइट? सो सब वो मैं ड्रॉ करती थी उसके लिए स्माइलीज, तो उसमें स्माइलीज थोड़े से पूरे ऐसे वाले होते थे, फिर सैड वाले होते थे, एंड यूजुअली वी ओनली नो एंगर, sadness and happiness as emotions, but then there are a lot of other emotions, like what about grumpiness or disappointment, right? So I would draw all those things, I would Google them, take printouts, and I would ask Kavish, ये कौन सा emotion है? Grumpy. So उसमें से वो teeth smiley वाला होता था. Kavish, आपको what are you feeling? Are you feeling angry? Are you feeling sad, disappointed, or grumpy? तो बोलता था grumpy, mama. So I just feel that I empowered that child to recognize his own emotion. So when he feels angry, right? So I ask him, आपको क्या feel हो रहा है काविश? Can you tell me, how about we deal with it? And then I read up a lot. So I read about something known as a 1 mad minute. So this is my latest thing that I'm experimenting on काविश. तो जब उसे बहुत गुस्सा आता है, जैसे नीचे बच्चों के साथ खेलने जाता है तो गुस्सा करता है, कोई बच्चा झूठ बोल रहा है या किसी ने कोई चीज़ ले ली, तो ये बड़ा अपना चिल्लाते हुए अपनी बुलंद आवाज़ में, तो मैं कहती थी काविश, how about for that moment you just tell yourself that it's okay, Kavish, calm down, I'll talk to mama about it, and then we'll take 1 mad minute. So then in that 1 mad minute, I will tell Kavish, okay, now you want to shout, you want to be upset, maybe you can punch a pillow and we can do all those crazy things.
Wow.
You get to be crazy in this 1 minute, right? Because इस वक्त मुझे वही समझ में आया. I read up a lot, but then I pick up only the points that I feel, okay, this is tailor-made for me.
This is a very good technique you have invented. 1 mad minute.
Yeah, 1 mad minute. And then we have our 1 mad minute, and then I'm like, okay, now you're feeling better. And then I tell him, what happens in our body when we feel angry, the blood rushes to our hands and feet, and that's why आपको लगता है नानी को किक कर दूँ या राम भैया को मार दूँ, right? But we have to control ourselves, and we have to tell ourselves, it's okay, Kavish, let's calm down. So I'm just trying those things. I'm also trying a reward system, and I think it'll be nice if I share this because then parents can follow it. So I have made one wish bucket for Kavish. It's called a wishing bucket. और उस पर मैं वो वाइट बोर्ड वाले मार्कर से कितने पॉम्पॉम्स हमने उसमें जमा के वो लिख देती हूँ. सो आई हैव सम पॉम्पॉम्स एंड इट्स अ रिवॉर्ड सिस्टम. सो ही स्पेंड्स अ गुड डे और ही डज समथिंग रियली नाइस, या अब मुझे पता है उसके हाथ पैर बहुत चल रहे हैं जो मैंने आपको बताया जैसे इधर उधर एंड ऑल, तो मैं उसको कहती हूँ अगर आप किसी को आज नहीं मारोगे तो यूल गेट 1 पॉम्पॉम. जो भी मुझे उस समय लग रहा होता है जिस भी फेज से वो गुजर रहा है, अब क्लास में आप क्लास वर्क पूरा करके आओगे, यूल गेट 1 पॉम्पॉम. तो मैंने सोचा ये जो पावर डायनामिक्स चल रहे हैं हमारे, अगर आपने ये किया तो मैं वो करूंगी या ये क्या, मैं चाहती हूँ कि मैं उसे धमकियाँ ना दूँ. अभी तक तो हमारा वो एस्टैब्लिश नहीं हुआ है. सो आई थॉट दैट मे बी टेकिंग अवे हिज प्रिविलेजेस वाली बात मुझे समझ में आई. सो मे बी व्हाट डज ही लाइक स्क्रीन टाइम. सो काविश, यू वोंट गेट टू डू स्क्रीन टाइम, बट व्हेन आई सी ही डजंट गेट दैट डोपामाइन सर्ज, देन ही गोज एब्सोल्युटली क्रेजी एंड दैट 1 mad minute extends for an hour. So I thought, how about a wishing bucket? So I'll say, अगर आपने कोई भी ऐसी चीज़ की जो आपको नहीं करनी चाहिए, जैसे we don't hit each other, so then mama will take 1 pom-pom away from that. Okay. Right? So that is very dear to him. आज तक उसमें से एक भी pom-pom नहीं निकला. वो जब से wishing bucket बना है उसके हाथ पैर बंद हो गए. अभी उसमें 20 ही है. He has to reach 100. When he reaches 100, then he gets whatever he wishes. Now that also is going to be in a certain barrier. ऐसे नहीं कि he will say, Mama, I have to go to the moon. So I have पहले ही मैंने set कर दी उसकी expectations क्या करेगा. So you want to go to Snow World, we can go to Snow World. Maybe we can go to a water park, So ये 2-3 चीज़ें, इसमें से आप कुछ भी चूज कर सकते हो. आप 100 पॉम्पम्स कंप्लीट करोगे तो आपको ये मिलेगा. So अभी वो चल रहा है. And then I made a time bank. तो अब मुझे पता है काविश लिखने में बहुत स्लो है. He's an extremely sharp kid, but लिखने में स्लो है. तो मैं क्या करती हूँ?
Same with my kid as well.
Oh God, seriously.
बोलने में बढ़िया है, बोल लेगा, लिखेगा नहीं लेकिन.
हाँ, too much, like anxiety at its peak. और मुझे तो anxiety issues है ही. तो मैं नहीं चाहती हूँ वो काविश के ऊपर निकले, और मैं वो मोमेंट भी नहीं लेना चाहती हूँ. जब मेरे पास टाइम है मैं खुद चाहती हूँ कि मैं उसे पढ़ाऊँ. तो मैंने अब ये नया चीज़ स्टार्ट किया है कि मैं एक टाइमर लगा देती हूँ. सो इफ़ ही हैज़ 1 पेज एंड ही हैज़ टू राइट ई, तो मैंने कहा काविश, मैंने आपका 8 मिनट्स का टाइमर लगा दिया है. तो ही गेट्स, अच्छा, तो वो लिखना स्टार्ट कर देता है. इट हैज़ वर्क लाइक मैजिक. इनफैक्ट उसके 2 मिनट्स जब बच गए तो अब मुझे समझ नहीं आया इसके लिए मैं पॉम दूँ, तो मैं इसको हर हफ्ते स्नो वर्ल्ड ले जा रही होंगी तो मैं क्या करूँ, तो मैंने सोचा वी विल मेक अ टाइम बैंक. सो ऑन एन A4 पेपर I made time bank. So there is deposit and there is withdrawal. Now Kavish saved 2 minutes, right? So I put that in his deposit.
Wow.
ऐसे करके उसके कुछ 20 मिनट्स हम बन चुके हैं. So ऐसे जब आप बोलते हो ना 1 or 2 minutes, तो आपके इसमें से हम माइनस कर देंगे. So it will be a withdrawal. So you can take this minute whenever you want.
Wow.
So he feels he has the power, and yet we are molding his, channelizing his power.
क्या बात है, ये बहुत ही ब्यूटीफुल टेक्निक्स आपने निकाल दिए हैं. एंड एक्चुअली देर आर टेक्निकल psychology behind it, but you are using it so in a simple way. जैसे कि 1 mad minute is like catharsis, right? There is a catharsis in psychology where through you, by using your body, you have to vent out everything. Maybe you will shout, or maybe you will break things, or maybe you will cry. You will do that catharsis and you will get the emotional energy that is building inside you out. But you have applied it in 1 mad minute. Beautiful
I'm so happy
techniques.
to hear from you,
Yes.
because I'm just doing random things that I feel are right, and coming from you, I'm glad that I'm doing this.
So morning routines आप क्या रखती हैं, अपने आप को प्रोडक्टिव रखने के लिए क्या करती हैं? Because you are doing multitasking and many times multitasking can be overwhelming as well. So what productivity tips you follow so that even other people can be inspired by that?
पहली बात तो बहुत टाइम तक I used to believe in this word called multitasking, because I was born into it, and in our society people feel that when you get more done, you're more competent, you're just amazing, right? You're killing it. But I feel that if you want to get more done because you have more to do, then you can pick it up by single tasking. So you really can't write with your hands and feet both, except a few blessed individuals, But what I'm trying to say is that if you have a list of 10 things to do, then you do them one by single tasking with concentrated focus. You will be able to do it better. I have slotted my day. मुझे पता है कि मेरे 4 productive hours होंगे, super productive hours. तो सुबह मैं उठती हूँ, उसके बाद I do my own routine first. Then I will take Kavish's studies. These are the days when I'm not shooting. Kavish's studies, और उसके बाद वो जाता है अपने बस स्टॉप में, नानी जाती है उसे ड्रॉप करने, और रोज़ मेरी कोशिश रहती है आज जाऊँगी, बट नहीं होता क्योंकि हम दोनों साथ में तैयार होने जाते हैं. एंड एग्जैक्टली 12:30 को मैं ऑफिस आ जाती हूँ. अब 12:30 से लेके 5:30 तक मैंने अपना टाइम बिल्कुल स्लॉट किया हुआ है, चाहे वो मीटिंग्स हो. मुझे पता है कि अगर कोई मीटिंग है, then I would like to get it done first. I want to be freshest. If I feel that I want to write something or write a script or sit on my edits for vlogs, then I will get that done first. And then I'll go home, और फिर मैं देखूंगी काविश ने क्या टेस्ट किए, क्या आज हुआ उसका, everything. And then I'll sit on my edits usually, because that is the time after everybody goes to sleep. मुझे टाइम मिलता है जब शांति होती है. And I write my feedback to my editor on WhatsApp. For that, I have to see the entire vlog or whatever the video that's coming out. I'll put that down in notes. So I don't like to leave voice notes. I don't like to type tuck on WhatsApp. I like it to be on an iCloud in a note, so that when he is done, he ticks that कि ये हो चुका है, ये नहीं हो चुका है. So I do that, और वो करते करते मेरे 2, 3, 4 बज ही जाते हैं. And then I am a hungry learner. I like to read articles. I like to watch stuff. I like to enroll myself into workshops. तो मैं वो कब करूँ? तो मुझे actually time कम पड़ जाता है अपने लिए. I want more. I want to get more done. और मुझे tired नहीं feel होता है. लोगों को लगता होगा ये कैसे कम इतना सोती है, इतना कम करती है, कैसे? But I don't know. It's probably my brain. It's probably that disorder जिसमें आप actually कम ही सोते हो. मुझे ऐसे लगता है I'm perpetually on a manic phase than a depressive phase. Because in a manic phase, you tend to talk faster. Yes, I have clarity of thoughts for many reasons because I structure it.
Right.
And I get more done. I sleep less. I am, more energetic in every way. Physically, emotionally, I'm always charged. It's probably the condition that I have. So I take that in my favor and I feel it's a blessing.
इसमें कई बार हम अपना दिन प्लान करते हैं, आप पूरी तरीके से प्लान हैं, बट कई बार जो एक्सटर्नल ट्रिगर्स आते हैं और जो एक्सटर्नल डिस्टर्बेंसेस और डिस्ट्रैक्शंस आते हैं, सो डू यू हैव मैकेनिज्म टू सेट अप द बाउंड्रीज सो दैट यू डोंट गेट दोज एक्सटर्नल ट्रिगर्स एंड डिस्ट्रैक्शंस?
My big trigger right now is I feel everything that comes in the way of my work. So when I have made a certain list and there is something that comes into my life which is not from that list, it triggers me. I don't know, maybe people who are going through this issue, of course you also will be able to understand how serious this is. It brings me anxiety, it troubles me, and there is a lot that I have to deal with. So then I do it. I get it done. And then I have to tell myself it's okay. अब मैं अपनी लिस्ट में से कौन सी चीज़ कम कर सकती हूँ. और ultimately होता ये, it results in me sleeping even more later because I want to complete my list. And yes, it disturbs me. There are many things. And that's why I say I don't have time for relationships, because कोई भी एक relationship जब आप, especially a new relationship that you're in, there is a lot of fine tuning. You have to fit in like a jigsaw puzzle. There is too much syapa and jhanjat that comes with jhagde. तुम मुझे time नहीं देते. I'm like, I don't have time for that because I can't slot that. I can't strategize कि 4 से 5 तक I will spend time with my loved one. I can't do that. Sure, I can meet you for a coffee or you can email me, but relationships don't work like that on mails, right? So that's why I feel that I'm not cut out for it, and I'm not like, I'm a workaholic and I love working.
कर्मयोगी.
कर्मयोगी. और मुझे लगता है लिखी है मेरी किस्मत में. It's a struggle. People think that, oh, I'm like, dude, I only look rich. I'm not. I'm rich at heart. I'm really struggling every day. I'm hustling every day. And most of the stuff that I'm doing is not, I'm not being paid for it in financially. But yeah, maybe it'll be rewarding, and I do feel happy about it by the end of the day.
Lovely. So at the end of the day, if you're happy about it, if you're doing it with good intention, I think financial success is a byproduct of these things. It naturally comes. मैं जब इस काम को शुरू किया था तो initially lots of free I used to do because I come from a humble background और financially बहुत ज़्यादा मतलब कि brain इतना condition नहीं था कि मनी वाइज सोचने में. तो स्कूल्स कॉलेजेस में अगर प्रोग्राम करने जाता था तो कई बार पैसे नहीं मांगे जाते थे, कई बार लोग प्रोग्राम करा लेते थे लेकिन फिर पैसे नहीं देते थे. तो इट वाज अ बिग स्ट्रगल, बट आई सो लव्ड माय वर्क. आई वाज सो पैशनेट अबाउट शेयरिंग व्हाट आई न्यू दैट इवन इफ इट वाज फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट आई केप्ट डूइंग इट. बट सडनली देन पीपल स्टार्टेड रियलाइजिंग इट एंड देन टाइम केम वेयर अभी नहीं भी चाहते वहाँ से भी आ जाता है, सब हो जाता है. तो आई थिंक अबाउट आई हैव रियलाइज इज कि if you have a good heart, if you have a good cause in your mind, and if you're good at what you do, just if you keep doing it, there will be a time where lots of all kind of success, जो भी सब सक्सेस को अलग अलग तरीके से डिफाइन करते हैं, जिस भी डेफिनेशन में सक्सेस आती है, सारी डेफिनेशंस कम एज अ बाय प्रोडक्ट ओनली. एक मैं आपके कहीं पे पढ़ रहा था, यू टॉक अबाउट फ्री सोल बट सेट अप द बाउंड्रीज, ऐसा कुछ आपने लिखा है. क्या मतलब है फ्री सोल का?
I'm actually slightly surprised even about the question, because aren't we all free souls? I mean, souls were always supposed to be free, right? I believe that I am a spiritual being having a human experience. And when I read that, I'm like, yes, this is me. This is me, right? I feel that souls kind of got wrapped up with bodies and then came to this planet and then got divided into religious beliefs, barriers, regional barriers, sects, caste, creed, whatever it might be. And life's experiences were shouting on my face that I don't belong, and a lot of times the whole struggle is about belonging. Everybody wants to fit in, wants to be accepted. But with me, as much as it did hurt me at times, but I didn't really have a problem with it. I'm like, it's okay. I stand out because I'm outstanding. So I feel that not many people understand me. Sure, my therapist too. I don't remember anybody else. Everybody's looking at me and they're, yeah, we get what you're saying, but I'm not sure if they do get. So when I met so many people along the way, and I'm in the 4th decade of my life now, so I've obviously met many people and experienced a lot. And I feel that I was never here to belong. And everyone's a free soul. They just have to realize that they are. But I have realized it already. And so I call myself a free soul. I don't think I'm bound in any way. I make my own rules, and yet I'm within the boundaries. When I say that, I mean, one should know in what context I'm speaking, right? When you say your power is limitless and you need to harness it and you need to channelize it, you need to know what you're talking about, right? Society was made for a reason, to coexist, so that we can all be civilized and we don't act like animals. So those kind of boundaries are good. But that does not mean that now you're going to divide them into your orthodox beliefs or impose your ideas and chain other people to those ideas because you believe in that. So when I say a free soul, when I say boundaries, that's what I mean.
Be free in your thought, imagination, but at the same time, take care that आपके काम से किसी और का नुकसान ना हो रहा हो. that is where we should set the boundaries, and otherwise we should live freely. I think free from the conditioning that we have, free from the societal norms जो हम पे impose किए गए हैं. That's what the free
Yes.
means. What is the role of self-love in healing?
I am my BFF. I am my best friend forever, because I feel that a lot of people come, a lot of people go, whether they are your partners, your children, your parents even, your teachers, everyone you meet, your colleagues. One person always stands with you, and that's you, from birth until you die. And you owe yourself everything. You owe yourself a good life. You owe yourself happiness. And we don't do that because हमारा सेल्फ वर्थ बहुत लो है, क्योंकि हमारी कंडीशनिंग ऐसी थी, बेटा अपने आप को नहीं प्रायोरिटाइज करना है. बट वी शुड प्रायोरिटाइज आवरसेल्व्स, बिकॉज इफ वी सीज टू एग्जिस्ट देन द होल वर्ल्ड, आवर होल वर्ल्ड कोलैप्सेस.
Right.
जब हम बेड पर चले जाते हैं, नाउ माय रीसेंट एक्सपीरियंस एंड योर वर्ल्ड कोलैप्सेस. You know, there might be people around you who love you and want to do things for you, but how much? How much? You don't like that. They don't like that either. Right? So I feel that self-love is the greatest form of love that you can give to yourself, because when you teach your children or when you empower others by example how you can love yourself, you are actually making a powerful world that's independent of anybody else's love for you. You don't have to depend on anyone else to love you. It's self-love. When you don't love yourself, you allow yourself to be abused by others because you're like, it's okay, I deserve it. Maybe I did it wrong. You start to doubt yourself. You start to question yourself. So that clarity only comes when you love yourself. Love should never be a problem. Only hatred should.
So true. और in fact बीच में आपने conversation में एक word use किया था, validation, approval. So many times we become addicted to approval, we become addicted to validation from external world only because when we are not able to love enough. जब हम खुद को इनफ प्यार नहीं कर पाते हैं या खुद को जब पूरी तरीके से एक्सेप्ट नहीं करते हैं, तो हम लगातार बाहरी वैलिडेशन पे निर्भर करते हैं अपनी सेल्फ एस्टीम के लिए, अपनी सेल्फ वर्थ के लिए. चाहे वो बॉडी लेवल पे हो कि मैं कैसा दिख रहा हूँ, कैसा लग रहा हूँ, चाहे मैं कितना कमा रहा हूँ, कितना नहीं कमा रहा हूँ, मैं कितना सफल हूँ, कितना नहीं हूँ. तो हम लगातार बस दूसरों से एक वैलिडेशन की तलाश में, अप्रूवल की तलाश में है. चाहे वो सोशल मीडिया पे वैलिडेशन चाहिए किसी को पर्सनल लाइफ में वैलिडेशन और अप्रूवल चाहिए. तो वैलिडेशन और अप्रूवल जब लोगों से मिल रहा है तब तो ये अंदर से बहुत खुश महसूस कर रहा है. लेकिन जब ये वैलिडेशन और अप्रूवल की सप्लाई बंद हो गई तो अब ये अपने आप को नाकामयाब समझ रहा है, दुखी समझ रहा है, नालायक समझ रहा है कि मैं किसी चीज़ के लायक नहीं हूँ. सो आई थिंक व्हेन वी आर ग्राउंडेड इन सेल्फ लव, this need for validation and approval will automatically go out because you are enough inside, right? And if something is coming from outside, you are so full of love that you will radiate love outside. So anybody who come in contact will feel more loved, right? But if you are empty within, you will try to suck love from other people. This will make them empty as well, and it will make you toxic as well. So I think that's very important that self-love should be a practice, and it can only come from self-acceptance. The first step is to accept yourself. Holistic acceptance should be there. Many times we are so impartial to ourselves that we only accept the good parts we have, but we completely disrespect the bad parts we have, right? So many times, suppose जैसे आपने bipolar की बात की, तो many time I have seen कि there is a one part who is calm and composed and this part, and there can be one part which is agitated and anxious. So many times we only embrace the part which is calm and composed, and we completely hate that part. We completely reject that part. We treat that part as an enemy.
Not only ours, but
Yes.
even others.
Yes.
That's why when our partners get anxious and are upset, we don't treat it like we need to help them. We treat it like, what the hell? You know, we start reacting to it.
So we are not accepting that part of the person who that part is not making us feel good. So it first starts with holistic acceptance. Without it, self-love cannot emerge. So the mother of self-love is self-acceptance. So once we accept our bad parts, our good parts, acceptance doesn't mean that you endorse it. Acceptance means you include it. हम अपने बदमाश बच्चे को भी प्यार करते हैं, सुधरे हुए बच्चे को भी प्यार करते हैं, बट एट द सेम टाइम बदमाश बच्चे को सुधारने का प्रयास भी करते हैं. सो दैट एफर्ट शुड बी देयर. but inclusivity should be there, and then self-love is the most powerful healing tool that can ever exist on the planet.
That is so true. And you said it so beautifully. Because I feel that I am enough for myself. You know, I am not that person who will ever say, yaar, aaj main bore ho rahi hu, kya karna? I don't have time to get bored. I'm so happy in my own company. I want to go out alone. I want to travel alone. I want to drive alone. I don't know if I'm becoming a recluse. I don't know. But I'm just saying I'm happy. I'm happy with my friends too.
वो जो सेल्फ रिफ्लेक्शन का टाइम है, पर्सनल टाइम है, आई थिंक उसमें एक अलग मज़ा रहता है. इफ़ यू लव योर सेल्फ ओनली देन यू कैन एन्जॉय. आई थिंक एक साइकोलॉजिस्ट ने बहुत अच्छी बात कही है कि दैट इफ़ यू आर अलोन एंड गेटिंग बोर्ड, इट मीन्स यू आर नॉट इन अ गुड कंपनी.
See? Yeah, so you need to work on yourself. True.
Lovely. So now before we move to the rapid fire, any 3 pointers that you can give to our audience to live a happy and joyful life?
So, is वक्त because I'm going through the phase of motherhood, there is so much I've started to see. It's like I have had a new life, you know. It's like a mother was born when I gave birth to my child. And I recently read this quote someplace which said that flamingos lose their pink when they're raising their young ones. And when they start to grow up, flamingos start getting their pink back. So it's for all those mothers, you know, in that moment who feel overwhelmed and feel that, is my life over? Look at my body. What's happening? You know, I used to be a different person. What's my life all about? It's like, you'll come back, but don't lose hope, because it's a pit. People just fall into it, and like, there's no coming back. There's that depression, that dark space is a bad space. So you just have to remember that you will get your pink back.
So lovely, beautifully said.
The one message that I want to give out there. And the world can be a little more accommodating and kinder to women, I feel, because I feel biologically there is a lot for them to deal with. And in fact, I was recently called a pseudo-feminist when I put one of the posts on Instagram where I spoke about women, you know, that, I speak about mom guilt, I speak about a lot of things. And there were some men men got offended. I'm like, this was not to offend men. This was to empower women. It's got nothing to do with you. Right? So I don't know why they did. And like, तुम biological differences क्यों गिना रही हो? I said, क्योंकि है.
Yes.
क्योंकि जब स्कूल में जाते हैं तो लड़के और लड़कियां दोनों जाते हैं. लड़कियों को पीरियड्स होते हैं, वो उस दर्द में भी उस क्लासेस में बैठती हैं, पीटी क्लासेस भी अटेंड करती हैं, फिर वो नासा में भी पहुंचती है, एनडीए भी करती है. लड़कियां भी हैं, लड़के भी हैं. So you can be a little more kinder to them. There is no problem with that. It doesn't make you any less. So that's another message that I want to send out to men and women both out there.
Lovely. Such a beautiful conversation. Now we will move to the rapid fire. So, chaliye ji.
Ji.
So let's go for the rapid fire with Nisha. Early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
Favorite way to instantly lift your spirit?
Go for a hair wash.
What are you currently reading?
Mel Robbins.
Solo shopping spree or movie night?
Movie night to nahi. Shopping any day.
Journaling your feelings or talking it out with someone?
Journaling, so that more people can hear.
Being your own critique or being your own cheerleader?
Being my own cheerleader, always.
Mother's love or audience applause?
Mother's love.
Entrepreneurial hustle or script reading?
Script reading.
Your go-to stress buster?
My baby, Kavish.
कभी तो उन्हें बस देखते भी रहे वो क्या कर रहे हैं तो भी रिलैक्स हो जाता है.
बस.
One childhood belief you shattered?
हमारी इंडस्ट्री, एक्टिंग की, बॉलीवुड or whatever, you can only stay in the industry if you do bad things or if you're ready to compromise on your values. I've hung out for 21 years and I'm fine. My values are super intact.
Creating content for women or acting in a woman-centric role?
Acting in a woman-centric role, because then I think that the legacy continues. People can watch it for generations.
Mindful parenting or entrepreneurial leadership?
Mindful parenting.
One woman-centric issue you feel most passionately about?
I feel educating women is empowering them in many ways. So I really want to uplift women who are not educated, because I feel an educated mom can actually uplift the entire household.
Following your intuitions or taking advice from family and friends?
Following my intuition.
Who inspires you most?
My son, my mother.
Lovely. And any one mantra that you follow in your life?
Live and let live. love is never a problem. Hatred is. That's all I keep saying.
And what you have to say about this initiative that we have taken, that let's normalize talking about inner wellness, let's make it priority. What is your views on that?
I think it's so much needed, and I'm so glad that you are doing it, because the way you articulate and your aura is so calm and you're so composed. You know, when a person just comes in your presence, you automatically feel that. The first time I attended your workshop, I could sense that composure, even it was through the video. And then I got to know you started a podcast, and I was so looking forward to it, because I knew that on a platform like this, you will make people come and speak their hearts, speak their minds, where people will be able to learn and take away something. So I think the value that Inner Wellness Tribe is adding, Dr. YSR is adding to humanity is unbeatable. So thank you for that.